Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The CDC's website says that lung cancer is the third most common cancer in our country, right behind skin and then breast cancer. Here in Eastern Kentucky, healthcare providers are urging folks to take control of their lung health before it is too late. WYMT's Vivica Grayson has more on how you can protect yourself.
In Eastern Kentucky.
Unfortunately, in Eastern Kentucky, we remain one of the highest incidence rates of lung cancer in the entire nation. We're one of the hot spots in the country.
A statistic mostly a result of smoking, but a variety of other factors like radon and environmental causes.
There are some work-related causes, asbestos, some industrial exposures of solvents, those things that can damage the lungs as well. Coal dust in our region, coal dust, rock dust, those things can also cause chronic damage to the lungs.
Dr. Bailey says a cancer diagnosis is often based on staging and when the tumor is found.
Stage 1 can be cured with surgery. Up to stage 3 can be cured with a combination of treatments involving chemotherapy and radiation. Stage 4 cancer, unfortunately, cannot be cured.
There are now lung cancer screenings to aid in preventative care.
It uses what they call a low-dose CT scan, which means you get less radiation dose. It is an imaging form which uses CAT scans or CT scans to look at the lungs in a way where you can see early tumors.
And as November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, it's one more reason Dr. Bailey encourages people to care for oneself.
People who do smoke and would like to stop smoking, please talk to your primary care provider about smoking cessation and seeing either treatments, medical treatments, or seeing a smoking cessation counselor.
Spreading awareness while caring for others. In Perry County, Vivica Grayson, WYMT Mountain News.
And now we're putting a number up on your screen for those who would like to learn more about a lung cancer screening. You can contact the ARH Cancer Center. In Western Kentucky, police in Beaver Dam and in Gallatin, Tennessee are looking for two missing children. Police say they want to find Jacob Clare, who say is a suspect in the disappearance of the children. They believe he left with his niece, 16-year-old Amber Clare, in a Subaru Outback. They say he was headed to Gallatin to drop off his son Noah, but they never showed up. If you see them, you're asked to call police. Investigators confirmed the identity of a woman found dead in Scott County yesterday. The coroner says it is Mary Harrelson. Search crews found her body yesterday while searching a wooded area. Deputies believe she was lost in the woods near her home on Friday. No one knew she was missing, though, until Sunday night. The coroner says she died of natural causes brought on by the environment. In Louisville, today was the first day of a merit board hearing for former officer Milesgrove. He was fired earlier this year. Louisville Metro Police say he used excessive force and failed to identify a target during the raid that killed Breonna Taylor. He is arguing to get his job back. Legal representatives say Cosgrove did not follow basic police protocol during the raid. His lawyers disagree. The hearing will continue tomorrow.
We had a pretty nice start to the day today. That helped temperatures get up well above average into those low 70s as we went into this afternoon, but we're starting to notice an increase in some cloud cover out there. Time-lapse camera from I-64 at Moorhead showing some of that overcast as we've seen it move through today. The good news, no rain associated with this. You see the Mountain Parkway at Slade. We have the overcast, but we're dry as we approach the sunset hour here in the mountains. We've cooled off just a touch from the low 70s now into the middle and upper 60s in most spots, while the usual cool spot coming in this evening at 59 degrees. You see that cloud cover working on in, but the good news is no rain associated with this, and we should stay on the dry side for the rest of tonight and through the day tomorrow. I can't make the same promise as we finish out the work week on Thursday and Friday. So if you're headed out tonight, keep that WYMT weather app handy. We will be on the dry side, but we're going to cool off quick. We already see that happening out there as that sun sets. We're down into the low 50s by midnight and only in the mid 40s for overnight lows tonight, though some spots could drop a little quicker and a little cooler depending on how fast that cloud cover works on out. We've got more cloud cover and even some rainfall on the way in for later this week. I'll have the details on that coming up in just a bit. Steve?
Evan, thank you. A vaccination clinic for children is now open in Lexington. UK Healthcare opened its pediatric clinic on Fountain Court just off Man-O-War Boulevard. The clinic is child-friendly for little ones who may be afraid of needles. They have games set up in the waiting area, and there's a sticker chart. The vaccine is for children ages 5 to 11. Pediatricians say it is safe, and they are hoping for a big turnout. Pfizer is making another push to expand its booster shots to all adults. Right now, only older Americans and other groups vulnerable to the virus have access to a third booster dose. Pfizer filed a request today with the FDA to approve the shot for anyone 18 or older. As part of its request, Pfizer submitted early results of a booster study to make its case that it's time to expand the additional shots. Fish and Wildlife crews will soon begin stocking a northern Kentucky lake with trout and catfish. The move comes as the Robert J. Barth Lake in Campbell County was added to the agency's Fishing in Neighborhoods program. The program stocks lakes in park-like settings near communities. The agency said in a statement that the lake in Cold Spring is scheduled to receive its first stocking of rainbow trout on November 16th. More trout will be added in February and March. Catfish will be added in March, April, May, and June. In addition, bass and sunfish will be stocked as needed. Kentucky leaders are sounding upbeat about the prospects of finally unclogging a congested route between their state and Ohio. The cross-party optimism stems from congressional passage of President Joe Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure package. It's seen as the best chance in decades to build a new bridge over the Ohio River to connect Cincinnati and Kentucky, relieving the overloaded Brent Spence Bridge. Governor Andy Beshear says he wants to, quote, get this thing done. Senator Mitch McConnell says for the first time in decades there could be a way forward to resolve the problem. Crews were on the scene of a house fire in Greenup County this morning. Police say they got a call just before 6:30 a.m. That fire broke out off Route 207. No injuries were reported. Police say a family living inside the home got out safely. We are starting to see those cold temperatures, especially in the morning, and some are probably heading outside a bit early to warm up the cars. WIMT's Dakota Makers talked with a technician on the importance of car maintenance this winter.
Waking up with frosty windows on a cold morning.
The cold weather is starting to settle in. It came on quickly. We went from summer-like weather to some very, very fall-like temperatures.
Saying the winter months are a great time to do much-needed maintenance on your car you may have forgotten to do over the summer.
When your fluid levels aren't adequate, it can affect your entire engine. You could end up with some severe mechanical damage that could have been so easily avoided.
A technician with Hutch Chevrolet says the number one thing to check this winter are your tires.
If you start getting into winter situations, you can have a lot of rain, a lot of snow. You want to make sure that the tread depth is good enough to where it's going to be able to keep traction on that type of a weather surface.
Saying when a car is brought in for service, it goes through an inspection to make sure it is safe to drive, checking vital fluids like antifreeze.
We check the freezing point of it. Obviously, if the freezing point's not where it should be at, your antifreeze could freeze up on colder situations.
And saying you need to check your battery as well, saying most batteries last 4 to 6 years.
Some of the stuff inside the vehicle might start shutting down where everything is electronically controlled now. So if you don't have the right voltage, then it's not going to perform well.
But if you are up early and warm up your car, he recommends to leave it running for just a few minutes.
Don't want to jump into a vehicle that's cold and froze up and drive straight down the road and not be able to see or not be warm.
Staying safe this winter. In Johnson County, Dakota Makers, WIMT Mountain News.
AAA expects it will have to respond to 400,000 drivers during the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, student athletes are now making money off of their name, image, and likeness. We'll talk to several students from UK on how that's working out for them.
And showers look to return to the forecast before too long. I'll have the latest on when temperatures tumble as well on the way.